How do you pronounce English vowel sounds correctly? Well, there are 12 English vowel sounds and they're all presented here on this screen. Starting from the top left, E as in feet, I as in bit, as in put, and U as in zoo. Then on the next row, E for set, for the, for girl, and or for more. On the final row, A for mat, for luck, R for smart, and O for pot. You can see these symbols when you go in a dictionary. Next to the definition of a word, you'll then see the phonemic spelling. So if you look in a dictionary at feet, then you'll find a spelling phonemically with these symbols, F and then the I and then the T. Notice as well that some of the symbols have got 2 dots after them. That shows you that you need to hold this sound a little bit longer than the sounds without the dots. For example, feet, but bit, E and I. E is a slightly longer sound than I, and it's represented by those 2 dots. So how can we make sure that we pronounce these sounds correctly? Well, if you were watching very closely as I said these sounds, you would have noticed something I was doing with my mouth that formed a pattern as I went across the chart and down the chart. We're going to look at this now in more detail. So first of all, watch what happens as I go from left to right with the top row. Feet, bit, put, zoo. Did you notice what happened to my mouth as I went from left to right on this table? My mouth was wider for the word on the left, feet, but it was narrower for the word on the right, zoo. And the words in between were progressively wider and narrower. Look at what happens. Feet, bit, put, two. My mouth started wide horizontally with feet and progressively got narrower until I got to zoo. Okay, that's what happens when you go from left to right on this chart. But what about from top to bottom? Now watch what happens as I go from top to bottom. Feet, set, mat. Did you notice what happened this time? Well, this time my mouth started narrower in a vertical way. So my lips were closer together for the top row, feet. But my mouth widened vertically as I went towards the bottom row. My lips got wider, feet, set, mat. Notice how the movement goes from being narrow, top to bottom, to being wider, top to bottom, as I go from the top row to the bottom row. And that's how you can use this chart to help you pronounce English vowel sounds correctly. Because with this chart, you can know what your mouth should be doing for each of these vowels. On the top row, your mouth is narrow top to bottom. On the bottom row, your mouth is wider top to bottom. And the middle row is somewhere in between. If you're going from left to right, your mouth starts wider left to right for the left row and then gets narrower towards the right row. So now we know this, why don't you join with me and say these words with me now. Feet, bit, put, zoo. Remember the 2 dots on zoo, so we hold that sound a little bit longer. Now the next row. Our lips are slightly wider for the next row. Set, the, girl, more. And now the bottom row. Remember, your lips are wider still, top to bottom, for the bottom row. Mat, luck, smart, hot. And that's what you need to know to pronounce English vowel sounds correctly. It's all about the position of your mouth. So with each word, if you're not sure how to pronounce it, go to the dictionary, find the vowel sound, and then compare it with this chart here. And look at the position of the sound on the chart, and that will tell you what your mouth should be doing. And on my English speaking and pronunciation course, I go through all 44 sounds in English, what you should be doing with your mouth, and also with other sounds. Sometimes you need to be doing other things with your teeth and your tongue, even with your throat, even with your nose. So you can learn all about that on my course, English Speaking and Pronunciation. Or if you want another video from me on this channel, watch the video that's going to appear on this screen now.